Hello, good evening, and welcome back after a rather long hiatus. There we go. 10 seconds into the stream, and I don't know how to pronounce stuff. Hiatus? 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 After quite a long break, I've been away playing at the Olympiad, as most of you probably know. It's good to see you in the chat. Hello, Fuchsia and Bakus, my super mods. Good evening, Dr. Makub. Schildkröte. Schildkröte is still not back to his old handle. What happened there? Ardo Jazz. Big Man Stan. Hey, Anthony. Good seeing you. Jan the King. Moin. Moin, moin. Ich weiß nicht, ob das letzte Woche wirklich sind oder möchte gerne letzte Woche. Belgian Crusader. Good evening. Before we get started, still holding the Rapid Shield. Fisher Boy. Good evening, Fisher Boy. Before we get started, Fifi, do you love me? Good evening, Mike. Mike, I think, is watching from the airport in Glasgow. Before we get started, I wasn't gonna have a glass of wine. I saw that Luke was writing on Discord he was gonna get the cans ready. I was gonna be on the water. I just got home last night from Batumi. I still have my Turkish water. I didn't even get around to buying water, so I'm drinking tap water in a bottle from Istanbul. I wasn't gonna have any wine, but today has been the most stressful day. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna have already starting the drinking. I'm gonna have one cheeky glass. By the way, since I'm having this wine, let me point out one more time. This bottle was given to me, or not given. Shipped to me by Otskill, who hasn't really been in the stream for a while. But Otskill, if you ever see this, maybe on replay, thanks again for the wine. And yeah, Simon wants to play a game of straw poll chess. Plague. I don't even know what. I think I saw something about Simon wanting or going to play a game against the Twitch viewers. Wow, you were at the Olympiad. Yes, I was. A glass of wine and streams feels like home. It's good to be home. It's really good to be home, actually. I had meant to do a bit more preparation for this stream. I thought maybe I should already enter the games or do something. But I didn't get around to it because I had to sleep and I had to see my grandmother and do laundry. Basically, I got home very late last night and I'm off again tomorrow. So it's a tough life. Tough life means I didn't really get around to preparing anything. The only thing I did prepare, as you can see, Belgian Crusader, yeah, I just added this donation goal. I'm just, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just opening all my score sheets for one week because I didn't get around to inputting them. I don't know if they are... Hey, look! MVL started following you on Lichess. Oh, is that actually him? No, it isn't. It's a joke. I don't know if Maxime has an account on Lichess. Maybe a secret one? Or does he have a public one? I'm not sure. What was I saying? Do you have a game of yours ready to comment? Antonio, what I'm planning to do is show you my 10 games. I'm hoping it won't be too long or too crazy a stream because I still have other stuff to do. But last time I did a game analysis stream was in Dublin. And I only had 4 games to look at, and I think the stream lasted somewhere like 4 or 5 hours. So I need to go through them a bit quicker, I think. I also was planning to show you some photos from the Olympiad, but didn't really get around to preparing anything at all. So I can tell you stories. I'll tell you stories. It was a good Olympiad. First things first, I enjoyed it. And I like to think I've got quite a lot I can compare it to. It was Olympiad number 9. Okay, there we go. The last of the score sheet has been opened. So, this is what awaits us tonight. On my score sheets. I'm always, I don't know what the webcam just did there. Okay. I'm quite happy with my handwriting. You see? I've always been a terribly slow writer, but at least one thing though, I was so upset. As you might know, you're not allowed to bring your own pen anymore to the Olympiad, to the playing hall. If you don't have the PGNs, let me know. Yeah, Fuchsia, I don't... Frozen Edge just subscribed. Make the camera around 666. Good evening, my dear, dear Frozen Edge. Actually, the light is a bit extreme. Nope, that was not what I meant to do. No. Did the camera move? Did I move the camera? I don't know. Yeah, Jesus, I don't know. Fuchsia, I don't have the PGNs. I was gonna manually input, but I was wondering if they are on leeches. I'm not sure. Yeah, Frozen Edge got here and I just lost the plot completely. Yeah, what I was saying, you're not allowed to bring your own pens anymore. And the pens they gave us were really shit, which led to a lot of this and a lot of... my score sheets are always usually so clean. But then stuff like this happened. Can you see this at the bottom there? Just the pens wouldn't work. And that's enough showing of the score sheets. Okay, Fuchsia can fetch them. So what are you gonna do with them? Are you gonna put them in a study? Shall I just? I mean, that's that is one of the things. You know what, Fuchsia? I think don't worry about it. I think I'm going to just actually manually. I'm just gonna manually input them because when I feel that when they are already entered the games, I tend to just click through them rather than what I'm trying to say is I do less explaining, I think. Does that make sense? So let me know what you guys prefer. Would you prefer that the games were already up in Lichess, up in a study, and we click through them, or that I just input move by move? Am I in some dark room? No. Am I too bright? I was wondering this. I'm still trying to figure out the lighting. But yeah, hello. Hello, Chris. Welcome. I didn't even realize you guys had already played the rapid game of your Bristol Championship, so congratulations. And what else? Are there cheating pens now? Basically, they have banned pretty much everything. You're not allowed to bring. You're not allowed to bring any watches, any pens. Even the team captains are not allowed to bring cameras. They are not allowed to bring. I mean, one thing I have to say, one thing that's good is captains are allowed to bring books again. They had banned books for a while, which was too much. Then my friend Carl, the captain of the Ireland team, he was bringing a notebook and he was drawing comic figures, cartoons. Is that what you call them? Maybe cartoons. Can you bring lipstick? I did successfully bring lipstick to my games. Hello, Lucky Fritter and Papa Bless. Lighting is 8 out of 10. So, I am a Liverpool fan. Yeah, I know some people have their problems with it, but if you do, too bad for you. No watches. I think watches is normal because there really are smart watches now. Pens, I think, is still a bit on the extreme side, but okay. You played on Thursday. Okay, so I think like it looks like we're getting more votes for the move by move. Move by move. For Congress. Everyone over to Ireland. Ireland. Yeah, so move by move, I think it's going to be. Was just checking something. Okay. So, as I said, last time I did this, it took me 4 hours to look at 4 games. So let's try and do this a bit quicker. I didn't really have any particularly long games. The score sheets were actually only 60 moves per score sheet, but I only needed a second one once. So there were a couple of games I don't think we're going to spend so much time on. Let me just do one last thing and order them by actual round, and then we get started. So I say 10 games. I got 1 rest day. The Olympiad is now, nowadays it's 10 rounds, which has changed quite a lot from when I first played. When I played my first Olympiad in 2002, which is a long time ago, they were 14 rounds, and I think 3 rest days. I think nowadays we are missing. Nonsense has begun. Turn off Facebook or Discord sounds. I don't think Facebook is making any sounds. Discord. Muting all channel. I think I've muted the channel. I'm a bit confused. My computer has started doing weird things. My computer started doing weird things. Let me see. The link Fuchsia just sent. Okay, looks like that's just... Why can't I open that? Okay, here we are. Okay, that was really quick work, Fuchsia. How did you do that? That's very impressive. Okay, maybe, I mean, if Fuchsia has done this, maybe this will actually be the lot quicker and handier option. 6, 7. I was actually on the last day when I was packing. I thought I'd lost 1 score sheet, and I was in a panic because I keep all my score sheets. I keep all my Discord sounds. I don't think much is gonna happen on Discord anyway. If it does, I'll turn them off. It was 11 rounds. Yeah, so as I said, I played 10 rounds. There was one day I took a rest, which I think is normal. It was a much needed rest too. And I had a decent finish, so I think it was the right decision. Okay, so I think we're not going to yeah, just mute the mic. Cheers, Frozen. Lucky Fritter, as you, I mean, Fuchsia has already, which is very nice of her, collected all my games. So I think we're just gonna do it like this, because also then we already have all the information and it's gonna save us a lot of time. I see Frozen Edge is already in the study. Did you get any medals? No. I think my medal hopes have gone now that they have changed the rules. When I got my medal, it was not performance, it was by percentage of points, so percentage. I think with performance, it pretty much prevents, stops anyone that isn't so high rated from getting a medal unless you get a near perfect score. Okay, one last thing I will do is I'll look up my results. Maybe also before I talk about the actual games. Maybe before I talk about the actual games, I said I enjoyed the Olympiad. I think, from my perspective, the Olympiad was well organized. Okay, so here are the results. It's weird. Every time I'm away from streaming for a while, it takes a little time to getting used to it again. But yeah. So these are the results for Team Luxembourg. I'll put the link in the chat in case anyone's interested. Antonio, 1500 going to Olympiad. There's a lot of them, because the Olympiad, what makes the Olympiad so special is that there are, I don't know how many teams. I think in the open section, close to 180 something. In the women's, let's see how many in the women's. My mouse is also still doing weird things. In the women's, 150 teams, and in the open, 185. And I think that is what makes the Olympiad so special, is that you get people of absolutely every level. You get the best players in the world, you get some absolute beginners, and as Chris just pointed out, someone lost his colors mate in the Olympiad. I have a group of friends who every day in a WhatsApp group were trying to find the quickest games, or they were waiting for the quickest games, which is not a very nice thing to do. But yeah, so you really get a nice mix of people from everywhere, from every strength. Pakistani team. Oh, I didn't even realize Pakistan weren't there, Fuchsia. Luke, welcome home. Thank you very much. I'm unfortunately, so yeah, anyway, these were our results. I posted the link in the stream. My own result, I scored 7 out of 10. I think the actual result was better than the play, as we're going to see in a second. Did you see the Iraqi girl who also works as a doctor? Actually, funnily enough, or not funnily enough, it's not really funny. There were so many people. I mean, I saw her interview. I think this girl you're referring to. But this Olympiad, the only problem I had with this Olympiad, there were 2 playing halls, which is always a pity. Which is always a pity that everyone's not in the same playing hall. So, what are these sounds? I don't... Since when did my... I mean, my laptop... I know, these are my games. So who's playing through my game? Is that fuchsia? Or can anyone just play through the games? Okay, it was just fuchsia. So who can do this fuchsia? You and me? Is that all? I mean, this stream is gonna be hard work because I enjoy being back, but looking at actual chat seems like it's gonna be tough right now. Okay, just fuchsia and me. That's good. What else was I gonna say? Before I start, so two things. Before I start, the new donation goal is for a new camera for vlogging. If you've watched my vlogs, you will know that the quality is okay, but it's not great because I filmed from my iPhone. So I've been thinking for a while I should really get an actual camera. And ideally, I'd like to do that before the World Championship match, which I will be covering for Elite Chess. Hopefully, I'll be announcing more details about that soon. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that I'm off. Excuse me. That I'm off. Give me half a second. I don't usually do this, but because I only have one day at home, there's stuff to be taken care of. Okay, so the other thing I was saying is I'm off to see David tomorrow, my dear, dear friend David Howell. Frozen, can you donate 66 cents? I guess so. You can try. Is there a Drake emote? There must be on Twitch, but not in my channel. Where is Abrook?
Test.
Oh, but is that in the way? Okay. So I need to find a new place to put this. Not in the way. Where should I put this? Is here a good place? No, what am I doing? Okay, if I put this here, let's rearrange this stuff a bit. If I put this here, and where is my donation bar? Here. If I move that a bit, oops. Do I even Twitch? I can make it a bit longer as well. Okay, is that better? Can someone donate again so we can figure it out? Also, I mean, I've done this now, but today is really the only day I'm going to be streaming before I'm off again. And then I'm not home until Young Drake. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Where is my... I mean, tonight might be a very messy stream. Because one of the things about Olympiads is they're very tiring. And they're long events, and also I feel like team events take more energy because there is automatically more pressure. So you was talking about the 2 playing halls. Yes, I was. So about the 2 playing halls, What that means is that there are some people I haven't seen at all because my hotel was a bit far away, not too far, but it wasn't bang in the center. And so yeah, some people like, I don't know if Helgi means anything to anyone here, but my good friend Helgi Tsiska from the Faroe Islands, he is one of my oldest friends in the chess world. Baku's donated.
Test.
But now, why couldn't I see how much he donated? Because the message was too long. I have no idea how much he just donated. I guess I'll find out on the ticker. But does this look okay now? I think the bar is not the donation goal. Is it hiding anything important? No. Get through the games. Yeah, I've already lost my... Yeah, it was anticlimactic. I guess when we come to the end of the donation bar, I'll find out. Put something in the bottom left. So you're saying this should be here, maybe? I donated 1, I think. Like this. Do you think that's better? What do you think, guys? Maybe it's a bit too big now. The flaming skull. Where is the flaming skull? Where is the flaming skull gone? There's Mo. Good old Anton. But if you have seen the... I promise I'm actually going to start looking at the games at some point. Just need to find where to put this. Probably just put it here. Is that okay? Lucky Fritter. I'm not the greatest at keeping up with my own stories. But yeah, basically 2 playing halls was a pity. It was also a pity that some teams were so far away. Some teams had to drive an hour every day to get to the playing hall. But other than that, I thought the organization was great. I was very happy.
Test.
Thank you, guys. We only need 597 more people to donate $1, €1, and then we have the new camera. So yeah, new camera would be great, especially when I was in Copenhagen with Anna. I noticed what a big difference it would make to have a proper camera rather than film from my phone. I got a funny message the other day. Does anyone in the chat know this guy? Because I thought it was a funny message. Invitation to a match. I was wondering if you'd like to play a match with me. Suggesting a layout and saying...
Hey cutie, you still owe me a date.
Who is that? That's not Henry. Who just impersonated Henry there? I'm sure that was Frozen Edge. Oh, who was that? Yep, actually I just got the email. Paul, you're the actual worst. And best. Okay. Yeah, my date with Henry. Someday. Someday it'll happen. When he is 18, maybe. Or did he... Was it this summer? Did he turn 18 or did he turn 17? I'm not even sure. Curving just subscribed. Thank you so much. I have no problem with you supporting Liverpool. I understand you want to cheer for a team that... Who is Stinger? Do I know who Stinger is? I don't know. You'll have to create a new email, a fake email account for your fake donations, Paul. Okay, but let's have a look at one game. I mean, how long have I... What's the uptime? I've probably been streaming for a little bit and I haven't looked at one chess move. I'm actually... Fuxia, I'm very, very grateful for you having put this put the darn, when you're here, click the darn heart for your favorite streamer. Can I click the heart myself? How do I do this? Here. Or is that just for this game? Or for all the games? Do I even lead chess? Still intro times, true. I might be in for a long stream, actually. So what I was saying, I just remembered. I'm off to see David Howell tomorrow. And David and I will be streaming together. So I'm going to David's house. And it's the first time I'm staying with David. So that should be interesting. Fiketa just donated.
Test broke back.
Thank you, Luke. Much appreciated. So yeah, David and I will be streaming together on, what's today? Monday. On Wednesday. On Wednesday, the same time as today. So it will be our local time, 7 p.m. in England or Ireland. Sorry. This will be a mess. Yeah, lucky. There are more trolls in the chat than usual tonight. Just leave me alone. It's gonna be tough enough as it is. So, stream on Wednesday with David, which, and after that I will actually start looking at the game. With David, which should be a lot of fun. Luke finally got paid. I appreciate you sharing that one. Giving me a fair share of your salary. Yeah, so stream with David on Wednesday, at least an hour. It will be probably slightly more sensible than the ridiculous Batumi rest day one with it. I think what we are going to do is I'll fall back on my old tricks of just creating a blitz tournament. And maybe David will play, or maybe we'll play Hand and Brain, but should be fun. So, e4, e5. Okay, now e4, c5 is what she played. For that game, I did, someone said, oh, she's only 1500. One thing I would like to say is I prepare for every game, regardless of whether they're 1500, 1300. I will always look up what they play and at least try to have some sort of idea of what I want to do. But I did not expect c5, otherwise I probably would not have played my favorite opening in the world, which is the Grand Prix, as you... Who actually wants to see these games? Let's go straight to the outro. Hello, Chenapon. So I like playing the Grand Prix when I haven't had time to prepare, and especially against lower rated guys, because as much as I don't really play it in serious games anymore, it's probably the opening I'm most familiar with in the world, the one I have most experience in as well. So for a first round of the Olympiad, it's always nice. Damn, can't be here tomorrow. It's not tomorrow, Chris. It's on Wednesday. Wednesday night. Wednesday night at 7 your time. So, although I have played the Grand Prix a huge number of times in my life, e5 I think I'd never seen before, and I still sort of think... Oh, also one last thing. I haven't really looked at the games in depth myself yet. I always have a quick look at night, but I haven't really seen them. Should we maybe turn off the engine? What do you guys think? I've been streaming for 40 minutes already. Jesus, I thought this was gonna be a 2-hour stream. We have 10 games to look at, and we've looked at 3 moves in 40 minutes. Should I turn off the engine? I kind of also think so. Turn off the engine, and we can always turn it on if we want to check something. Okay. Sorry. Also, I'm gonna have to leave for more water soon. That went down a treat. I'm gonna have to run to the bathroom in a second to get some more water. Okay, so yeah, I am lacking realism. That is true. I think big time actually. Yeah, frozen edge. And it's not gonna be fun. What's gonna happen is I'm just gonna fall asleep at some point probably. In a way, it's a pity I'm only home for a day. I mean, it really would have been ideal. Would have been ideal to break up this stream in 2 days and have a look at 5 games and 5 games, but ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so in this game, because I have already sort of seen it, I missed something ridiculous. So basically, in this position, I played castling with the idea of if she played like a random rating move, let's say like a6, that I was gonna take here. I'm already unsure about the first. Yeah, why didn't I? It's an excellent question. Let's see. I mean, and then take here was the idea. And that is just, that's not even the end because there's a check here. Can I give a check here? Immediately, I mean. Here? Immediately where? But yeah, I think knight takes knight says frozen. Knight takes knight is also perfectly decent, but I think queen h5, yeah, is just probably the end. And that is it. Mouse in the way. Four. Why didn't I take here? And then how do you want to follow it up? Oh, Luke is making a good point. Queen d4. The rook is now defended, and we've made some space for the king. Oh, guys. But why do you not want to... Okay, Stinger wants to not see the moves. Do you guys agree? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Do you guys agree that we should be hiding the moves? Like this, maybe? It's weird having my face so blown up. Showing moves is fine. Yeah, that's true. Chris is making a good point, as usual. Chris is making a good point. Okay, back to normal. What was I thinking? I thought that I had a threat here. Okay, bishop f7 wasn't a threat. Because I think what Luke just pointed out, queen d4. I mean, it's still okay, but yeah, just d4. But you know what I did miss? So in the game, after bishop g4, Manas! Hello, how are you? Good to see you. And Perpetual Stalemate is here. Junior Aztec. Good to see you guys. Yeah, back streaming. I was planning to stream from the Olympiad, but the internet was dreadful. Non-Fiona's in the chat. The internet was dreadful and it was also very busy, so I only got around to doing a very quick stream on the rest day, unfortunately. Manas, I haven't heard from partnerships, which is strange because it's not the fact that I have been accepted or declined, or I haven't heard from Twitch. And I applied on 2nd of August, and it says you'll hear back from us within, what does it say? 7 working days? And it's been over 2 months, so I'm really not sure what's happening at all. Sad times. I also don't know if there's any point in me emailing, but maybe this is something we can discuss in private. Yeah, also focusing on the tournament. I think I really should have known this before going, because I have played in quite a few Olympiads in my life, so I should have known that streaming daily wasn't a great idea. Or not, it's not that it wasn't a great idea, it was just not realistic at all. Yeah, I understand that the partnership team is overworked. Like, I think Twitch made it a lot easier to apply for partner. So I guess you guys should have... Should I maybe not talk shit? Maybe they made it so easy to apply for partner that really I think Twitch should have realized there were going to be a lot of requests. But yeah, I think on my end it would be nice to hear something. I mean, I didn't even get any confirmation that I did apply or that my request was received. So it's just being in the darkness about what's going on. But hopefully it will resolve itself someday. Back to the game. So after bishop g4, what did I miss here? Because I did miss something. And I'm just trying to figure out, I'm just trying to remember myself the order. Maybe I should apply for the partnership team. You mean for a job with? Chris and Fuxia have guessed it. Bishop f7 was a move here, which was pretty much winning on the spot. Because after takes, thank you so much, Manas. I appreciate it. So Chris is suggesting knight g5 here. And I think that is the move. I'm just gonna check to make sure, but yeah, I mean, it's the only move. And I don't even know, I'm not even sure. I think I just forgot that this comes with a check, and there's no way the bishop can interpose that check. And I'm just gonna take here, next move, so let's say king e8. And I'm just a pawn up, and black's king is in. No, 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 yeah. Black's king is in for a lot of pain. So the reason I showed you this line earlier was because, although it didn't work, when I played castle, it was with the idea of taking on f7. So when I got back to my room, to the realization that I could have taken on f7, I was like, that's not great, is it? Also made me think I really should have solved more tactics before the Olympiad. But yeah, h3, she took. I'm gonna play through the games a bit quicker now. There was one more critical moment in this game because I think it was day one, and I usually try not to get careless or not to underestimate my opponents, or not to how do you say, not to, yeah, tactics win matches. It's true, Mike. But I think I was guilty here of, I liked my position a lot. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna bring this one home. And then suddenly she got her pieces got more and more active. And she started getting some threats. So her queen is in now. And basically, in this position, my first idea was to play a knight here, knight d5, but then I suddenly got worried about knight here. And I wasn't entirely sure what was happening here. So black now has 2 pawns for the piece, and my king is somewhat in the open. Okay, there's only 2 pieces attacking my king. There might be knight here. Let me have a quick look. The computer seems to say it's all fine, everything is defended. But it's just in a game that you felt you were controlling. Yeah, it's not working, but it's just, I think, from a practical point of view, I didn't want to allow anything like this, because I felt I've been in control. And that's why I played rook e1. And then the second I played rook e1, I was like, Jesus Christ. Because she can now do the same tactic, except she actually takes a pawn. So when I saw this move, I was like, fuck's sake. And I was planning here. The computer suggests something very clever. I think h4. I think I was planning to play g4. Let me... Yeah, so the computer... Oh no, g4 isn't the move, because of queen f4, which maybe I forgot during the game. But h4, the computer likes. But still, it's not, what I'm trying to say is it's not something you want to allow in a first round game when you're playing against a 1500. So yeah, thankfully she played rook d8. And I now played knight d5. And okay, at some point it became plain sailing. Is plain sailing a word? Congrats for losing your virginity. 2 knights for a rook and 2 pawns. Yeah, so are you trying to say if she had taken here? Which line do you mean, Chris? Here? Or if I'd taken? Okay, so what Chris means is here. I don't know why the computer gives it such a big, or did we miss something? No, it didn't miss anything. It's weird that the computer gives it such a big advantage, although black actually has 2 pawns for the 2 pieces. I mean, a rook and 2 pawns. But I think it's just there are too many... What am I doing? This square is a massive square. This square is quite weak. I'm not sure if these are the colors. This is the color I want. The G file might be good for me. Raid. Who raided? Ginger GM is raiding with a party of 210. Hello, raiders. Hello, Ginger GM fans. I say, what up? Good to see you all. I guess there must be some familiar names coming from Simon's stream. Welcome to all of you. It's an absolute pleasure having you. Desert Storm Curl, hello. Hello to everyone who just joined us. Arkan, Pro, Clee, Blindy, Pyro Luke, Dusty, Steel Teddy Bear, Jens Chess. Hello, Jens Chess. Fire and Blood. Is Simon actually here himself? Ginger, Charlie the Chess Cat. Hello. Hello, the real man, maid, Blazero. Suddenly there's a lot more familiar names. We're now up to 348. Let's see if we can keep some of those. I saw Simon was streaming. I really hope Simon and I will be back streaming together soon. We wanted to come earlier, but Simon told us not to. Simon is a bad man. Now, thank you so much for raiding, Simon. I should talk to Simon soon about stuff coming up. Oh, there he is! Did I just say he's a bad man when he was in the chat? We missed your Olympiad stream. Jens Chess, you didn't miss it at all. It's just getting started. So you're right in time. Got to shoot, but enjoyed. Thank you so much for raiding, Simon. I'll be in touch soon. I hope you're well. Thanks for sending your people, your posse over to me. Miss you. Love you to bits, Simon. Thanks. And speak very soon. Actually, it's a pity Simon is just leaving because the next game we're going to look at is actually a Dutch. And Simon, you owe me a bottle of wine. So yeah, back to the game. Charlie the Chess Cat is now following you on Twitch. Only now, Charlie. I thought we were friends a long time. I first met Charlie. Stay hydrated, bot. You've been live for just over 1 hour. By this point in your broadcast, you should have consumed at least 120 milliliter of water to maintain optimum hydration. Well, I've already consumed half a liter, so I'm way over the limit, right? Disturbed Dalgurak. Can I get a game, please? That's not gonna happen tonight. I'm really sorry because we still have 9.5 games to look at. Taberjack, I think the command is follow. Nope. Then it's followers. I think the last stream I did before the Olympiad, we just crossed 4,000. So that was nice. And what's the subs count? Subs 92. It would be nice to get back to 100. There was, of course, Toilet Noggin went on a massive subs gifting spree. Hello, Aldo. Good to see you. You know, really what I should do when I've been away. When I've been away for so long, I should really do one stream where I just chat and don't do any chess, because this is really tough. But thanks, I appreciate all the new followers sent to me from Simon. Welcome, and I hope to see you guys in here more often. Tonight, for those of us who just joined us, I'm going through my games from the Olympiad. Just came back from Batumi last night, where I was playing for Luxembourg at the Chess Olympiad. And we're now looking at the 10 games I've played there. I've been streaming for almost an hour, just on my second glass of wine now. So it's going to be a long night. I still need to pack and do about a million things. So at some point I'm probably gonna probably try and speed up a bit because it's gonna be a long night otherwise. Hello, FL Attack. Okay, so so Chris was the last thing we were saying about this one night game. Aldo just subscribed. Thank you so much for this, Aldo, and welcome to the, can I call it subs army? Also, where is Aldo's notification? Is it still coming? I wonder if there's a Vineyard owner in the chat. If there is, make yourself known. Okay, so yeah, I think here, although black has a rook and 2 pawns for the 2 pieces, which from a material, and there we go, there is your notification. Aldo, I hope to see you in London very soon. I guess I'll see you at some point during the match. What kind of wine? It's a wine that was sent to me by Oskil, who used to be in the stream quite a lot. I'm not exactly sure if this is red wine or rosé. It just says Auerbacher Fürstenlager Spätburgunder Trocken. I'm not entirely sure what it is I'm drinking because it doesn't have the color. Can you see? It doesn't have the color of red wine and it doesn't have the color of rosé, but it's very good. You'll see me. Crypt isn't going to happen. Oh, okay. I was going to say, oh, Simon just told me earlier today Crypt might be happening. Burgunder is red wine. Okay, then it is red wine. I should really know these things, shouldn't I, Fuchsia? I'm not sure, you know, all these people that came from Simon's stream, I was thinking, oh, they probably want to see some chess, but maybe the people coming from Simon's stream are like, oh, we just want to see Fiona drink. I'm not sure. I'll try to make it a mix of both. Okay, let's try. Are you going to go to Simon's bar? Of course I will. I think it's not open yet, but as soon as it's open, be sure that I will be one of the first people there. Dr. Makub, I will renew my subscription Wednesday. Wednesday is a good time because Wednesday I will be streaming with David Howell. Taberjack came to see me drink. I appreciate it. There's also Weißburgunder. Okay, so Burgunder can be white or red, but not rosé. So what I'm drinking should have a meetup. Actually, Luke, Thiketa, to answer your question, Simon and I are planning a meetup. I think we'd already decided on a date, so unless Simon has forgotten about it, I hope that is still happening. The date for our meetup was gonna be 16th of November in London. Can I drink Simon under the table? No. I think it would be very bad news for my alcohol tolerance if I could drink Simon under the table. You'll be in Malta, but Thikata, I'll be in London a lot, so I'll see you at some other point. Pelham, what did Pelham say? Aren't you half French? You should know your wine. I really should know my wine, actually. That's an excellent point. And it's embarrassing. So when it comes to wines, let's just call me Luxembourgish. Okay. So, as I was saying 15 minutes ago, I think White's pieces here are so strong. And the white squares are so weak. And Harry is gonna... I think this should be winning for White, despite Black doing okay from a material point of view. So she did not take on c2. I think she probably just didn't see it, but I could be wrong, of course. Let's switch off the engine again. And basically, now I'm just winning a pawn. She could have gone back to f6, I think. When my plan was... I had a clever plan. What was my clever plan? I think my plan was just to take and go g6. No, this is defended. So yeah, I think this was my plan. So she went to f4 when I'm winning a pawn. Blame the wine. Blame the wine for what? Anyway, so yeah, the pawns are coming. At this point, I was quite happy, but then it was just a matter of finishing the game off. So things have simplified now. I'm a pawn up, but also Black's... Still don't know this color thing. Okay, there we go. I'm just so much more active. My pieces, this pawn is a monster as well. So I'll just click you through the end of the game. I mean, now the Black King is even weaker. There was, oops, what just happened? Browsed Web just subscribed. Thank you so much for this, Browsed Web. There was only, hello, Truth. Oh, Jesus. Everyone is here again. I don't know how I'm ever going to get some sleep tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm very happy to see all of you. Every single one of you. But I'm never gonna get done with this stream. I might just have, if someone can stream for me after me and click people through the rest of the games, that would be lovely. Okay, about this game, because it was from here on, I think I converted pretty cleanly. There was only one last moment, and it's this moment here. No, don't leave, Luke. I finished at the gym just so you see your streams. Cheers to that, Truth. And it's good to see you. Welcome back. I'm glad to be back. I'm very glad to be back. It's just a pity. Just a pity I'm only back for one night. I'm off to England tomorrow to see Mr. David Howell. And yeah, that will be good. I'll be streaming with him on Wednesday night. You can just drink and chat and we're happy. Just need the pirate hat. Actually, I'm going to go and get more water in a second. Should I bring the pirate hat? And then I can be like, oh, I'm a pirate. Who wants to see David Howell stream? I really hope David and I keep it a sober stream because it's always so nonsensical as it is. I don't think we're going to be drinking much, by the way, because what I didn't realize is it's not just David and me at his house, but his mom will be there as well. So it's going to be family time. Jens chess, e5 looks good. E5 does look good. The only thing I wanted to say, you know what I was... Taberjack. What time will it be? Aldo, the stream will be at 7 your time, so the same starting time as tonight. So that's a 7 if you're in the UK, 8 if you're in Central Europe. Tabberjack, I was very tempted to play Queen f7. Of course, the idea is that if black takes, there's a very nice back rank checkmate. But then I suddenly realized, to my horror, that after Queen f7 there is this check. And it's, I think, queen retreat moves. Queen retreat moves are quite tricky to see. And here I'm just lost because I have to move my king and now there's no more checkmate. So when I saw this, I was like, yep, I need to be a bit careful here. No Queen f7 nonsense. So instead I played this solid move with the idea of getting my queen more centralized and then swapped queens. And I think the rest of the game. The only thing I was worried is she was gonna try and get to the second score sheet. Because the second score sheet starts after move 60. So I was like, come on. Please resign. Please resign. So in this position, I was looking for a mate. I was trying to find a mate in under 4 moves because I was like, if I have to start a second score sheet. But I couldn't find a mate. So I just gave a check and thankfully she did resign. Okay, so that was game 1. How long did it take us? What's the uptime now? I'm not sure I want to know what the uptime is, so I don't want to know. Rufus and Doofus is now hosting you. Thanks for that, Rufus and Doofus. So yeah, round 2 was my strongest opponent in this tournament, and that was Irina Krush. I was black. And basically, what happened is that Irina opens with either knight f3 or d4 or c4. And so when I was preparing with Cedric that morning, we thought, can we find something? So I've been streaming for an hour and 10 and 15. Yeah, Tabberjack, the number of times I've heard this joke. I love to laugh at a shit joke, and this is a very shit joke. But it's just, I think I just heard it too often. Too many times. Long time no see, number pad. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So basically, when Cedric and I were preparing, so Cedric is a good friend of mine. He was also the captain of the Luxembourg team. We figured, because I don't have an opening repertoire against anything that isn't e4, we were like, ideally I would find something that I can play against any of her first moves. So we decided on the classical Dutch, except after knight d2 and e4 I was out of book here. And this is the moment where I hope that the big man Stan or Chris will still be in the chat, because we had a discussion that night after the game about, I think Simon in his DVD. Let's see, is Stan or Chris still around? I think Simon in his DVD. Oh, they're both still here. That's good, because I can't remember. What was the DVD recommendation? Because the DVD recommendation was not trading everything. The move I played, f takes e4, is the computer move, which I didn't know, obviously. Mass captures and then d5. Okay, so Simon here recommends at this moment d5. But the computer says, I'm just going to check what the computer says. Okay, so this was the computer suggestion. This was the computer line. But Simon in his DVD was saying, what was Simon saying? Anthony is the one who actually looked it up, what Simon says. The problem is, I was just really not familiar with Simon only took once. I think Simon suggested d5 here in this position. Check the opening book. Oh, there we go. A Simon game. What a surprise. But yeah, I had a look at this, actually. I had a look at that game. It's also really cold, can I just say that? On an aside. On an aside, it's really cold. Sorry, I was just on Twitter for a second. And there's a really weird guy who's been commenting on... And the problem with Twitter is, like on Facebook, if someone comments something you don't like, you can just delete it. But on Twitter, you can't. And there is this guy who's been writing so much weird stuff on my Twitter posts. And on my latest one about the stream alert, I just noticed he commented 20 minutes ago. Okay, you're never gonna hear from me again. I really don't like self-sufficient people. Write to yourself. It's just like, you really get some weirdos, don't you? Anyway, you can block him, yeah, but I don't need to. I've never really been in such a situation that I was like, oh, I feel I need to block this person. And hopefully I don't. Get off Twitter, okay. So yeah, this is what I should have done. This is what I did do. It's a weird move, but it's just I was absolutely on unfamiliar territory here. Stan looked up f takes e5, f takes e4, knight takes. Ah yeah, so this is what. So this is the recommendation from Simon's classical Dutch DVD. This is what the computer wanted me to play, and this is what I played, because basically, when I tell you what I think, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I was super scared of just getting checkmated, basically. Something like this, but not in this position. This is my OCD kicking in. So after bishop e4, I was like, yep, don't wanna have all these pieces looking at my king. I actually, you know, I was so scared of the attack that I sort of expected her to play king f1 here, which would have been crazy in hindsight. But anyway, she played bishop d2, takes. Sorry. And I think... Pernod. Hi from Gibraltar, Fiona. Are you coming in January with Simon? I am not, unfortunately. But I have a very good reason for not coming. And yeah, you have to remember, yeah, I should have known. That's not in Irina's style, maybe, to checkmate me. The reason I'm not coming to Gibraltar is because I'll be going to Wijk aan Zee instead. And Stan is saying that one of the ideas of d5 is, of course, to bring this knight over here. Maybe... No, I think, oops, to f6. And also just, I mean, black is better developed. When are you coming to Dublin? Funnily enough, on next week. Next week, but probably not for very long. Asios, good evening, my dear Asios. How have you been? Long time no see. Did you ever travel to the US? Yes, but not in 14 years, not in a while. Leech has tagged you in a post. Fiona is analyzing her games. Yep. I look very contemplative. If contemplative is a word. And then the d5 line, c4 is hanging. So bishop g2 might not be playable. And if she takes, yeah, then the king is quite open. Yeah, it's a good point. And I mean, in hindsight, it makes perfect sense to play d5. It's just at the board I was panicked about my own king. So, I mean, it feels it's an opportunity missed, but what to do? Will I come to the opening of the new chess pub, The Good Night? It opens in September. It opens in September. Is that right? I think that's probably a typo. I think it's going to open. I mean, it's now October. Chris is saying... What's Chris saying? I missed the first part of what Chris was saying. Maybe I'm just too tired. Probably in November. November. Titles for life. Oh, sorry, I missed that. So in November, I'm very busy actually, but so early for me. What does anyone mean? I'm so confused. If it's in November, maybe. Depends on where in November, but November is extremely busy with the World Championship match, so we'll see. Actually, are there Armstrong fixtures somewhere, Luke? Do Gonzaga have a match next week? I don't even know. Can you find out? Anyway, bishop d2. Fuck my life. Sorry. Okay, let's have a quick look. When is Gonzaga playing? 29th September, so they need to play it at some point. 11th. Nope, I won't be playing in that. I will not be playing in any of those games. Who are you even playing for, Luke? Okay, I need to hurry up. It's game 2 and I'm knackered. I'm so tired. So I really need to do something. I think what I might do is just show you the critical moments in the games. Get some wine to wake you up. Yeah, the problem is the wine will have the contrary effect. E-pawn looks like a problem. Yeah, there were soon a few problems. I thought my position wasn't as bad. The computer doesn't like it at all. There was only one moment. Okay, I mean, I'm doing very badly, but there was one moment where I thought I'd managed to mix things up. That's a good point, Tower Jack. I have no space. That's also a good point. And now I also have this problem on the C file. And I think so basically when she plays Queen C1, her idea is of course to do this and this. And this poor pawn is pretty much doomed. I think she missed c5 actually. She seemed very surprised when I see c5, when she saw c5. And to be fair, I only saw c5 very late. But the point is that I have this move. And it's, you can't really, I mean, if I manage to get in Queen d5, I think I might even be better. So I think d5, I'm just going to check this. I know the computer still likes it for white after king here, just to unpin yourself. And then here goes f5 here with the problem that this is weak. And he just says it's winning, but over the board it's not so easy. But after d5, and I'll keep the engine on for this, there was one moment, actually maybe we passed it already, or is it still to come? Nope. But there was one, I know it was here after d5. Oh, ah, yeah, sorry. I'm too tired. Queen takes is what the computer wanted. And here he says it's not so clear. So after f5, which is sort of white's only try. And then he goes king g8. The material count is equal, but now he's just seen knight g5. I mean, maybe it just, yeah, I don't know why I didn't play. Queen g5 does look natural. I think I was more concerned about letting her take over the d file, maybe. Don't really remember. But long story short, I thought at some point in the game I was back in the game, but I wasn't really at all. Is that you on the wall, or is it Bobby? It is Bobby. Bobby Marley. Good evening, Avalanche. So basically, yeah, after f5 here, it's just game over. I mean, I had seen that this fork was coming on e6, but I thought, oh, maybe it's, I still have counterplay, but I'm just getting checkmated. I thought maybe if she takes my rook, but even if she takes my rook after queen takes c2, king g1, there are no more checks, no more nothing. So after rook f2, I just resigned here. And that is game 2, done and dusted. So I think in this game, to recap, I think I only in the opening, if I'd gone down this line and played d5 here, I think it would have been a very different game, because what I got a passive position which doesn't suit my style, which suits Irina's style perfectly. So it's a pity I didn't play d5, but still it was nice. To get to play Irina. I hadn't played her before, so that was good. Moving on to game 3. So game 3, we played against Uganda, which was interesting because on top board they have Fiona Mutesi. Fiona Mutesi of Queen of Katwe fame. Incredibly, I still have not seen Queen of Katwe. I'm hoping to do it very soon. Yesterday it was on the flight, on the in-flight movie selection, but instead I decided to watch the crappy but funny Ocean's 8. So I was white. Again, I didn't really expect the Caro-Kann. This was, I think, my nicest and easiest. I enjoyed playing this game, you will understand. Vanvert, thank you very much for your nice message. Greetings from Greece. I was booked on a flight to Greece just 3 days from now, but I'm not coming anymore, sadly. Or maybe not so sadly, but anyway. Long time. Fifi. Megisto, I've been very well. Just come back from Batumi. What are you up to this evening? Streaming? I haven't played the mainline Caro-Kanns in a while, but I didn't really want to play the exchange, which is sort of the main thing I do these days against the Caro-Kann. I knew that bishop knight f6 is not a great move. Usually black goes knight d7 to stop knight e5, so I went knight e5. I don't know what I even keep clicking. And h4. And I thought this is already very good for me. After h6, I think here it's already pretty much game over. The black king and the black pawns are just too weak. I mean, I saw, of course, she could take that pawn, but I thought surely she isn't going to, because, yeah, you can take a pawn with chess, but yeah, I think, Stinger, I think you're getting very close to your last warning, actually. Just saying, it would be a pity to get banned. And the problem is just this king. It's just too weak. The rooks are coming in. This bishop is a monster. This bishop is gonna be a monster. And the game didn't last much longer. I think I missed some. I think I could already have sacrificed, taken on f6. There were many wins. And yeah, that was the end of it. Because this would have been a nice checkmate, actually. I would have enjoyed this. So yeah, that was game 3, and we're almost a third through. This is going well. Round 4 against Linda Wong from Taipei. I think this was a... Let me even remember what this game was. Oh, this game was a total disaster. This game, I really... So I played e4. She played e4. Again, I didn't really expect e4. So I thought, okay, I played a Philidor. I have some experience. I did not expect her to play expect her to play g4 h3, which is not a bad line for white at all. And now, I mean, my coach Cedric, gave me a very hard time that evening because I now played the ridiculous g5. Because basically when she played castles, oops, sorry, I really didn't want her to play f4. I was so terrified of f4 that I played g5. I don't even know what the computer just wants to. I did not look at this with a computer before. Knight f8. I mean, I shouldn't really be playing the Philidor because the computer says this is fine for me, but I don't like being crammed like this. As if you know me, I mean, I would love to play with these pawns as white, but g5. I mean, Cedric said to me, especially I played this move quite quickly. I only fought for maybe a minute before playing g5 because I was just like, yep, I want to stop f4. How do I stop f4? By playing g5. But that's not how you should be thinking, really. So played g5. She played knight g3, and I was like, yeah, actually, I should have thought this through. Reman, when you're playing people so much worse than you, is it a strategy to try and trade into an endgame that you can be more technical than your weak opponent? I guess so. I think different people choose different approaches. I am one that in general prefers to checkmate my opponents, regardless of what their strength is. I think every game of chess is just, oh, I would quite like to checkmate you. But the Philidor, I mean, usually it's such a solid opening. I absolutely did not expect my opponent to go g4, h3. What is Jens just saying? Knight f8. No, not here. Knight f8, knight f5, bishop d7. Ah, very cute. That's very cute. I like that. That would have been a nice way to lose that game. Instead, I played queen b6. At this point, I was getting a bit desperate already, because I somehow completely underestimated her play, and I now had to swap queens, which I hate doing. And still, despite swapping queens, I'm still struggling to get out my pieces. Knight e5, f4, g takes. And I was not a happy camper here. I wanted here at first to keep the bishop. My initial idea was to play bishop f8. And then I saw this move. And I was like, yep. I mean, I can pretty much resign here. So I thought, can't do that. And then I realized this is a threat anyway. So I have to take, basically. I have no choice. Knight f d7, rook e1, rook g8. So now my new plan was I thought I have to do something on the king side. Knight e4, oops, king c7, defending this pawn. Knight g3, stopping h5. And then I thought, okay, I have to get rid of this knight because it's just too annoying. Did you really lose to a 1300? No, I won this game. I just didn't have a very good position, Papa bless. Or is the result wrong? No, it says here 1-0. Bishop h4, rook e3. I thought I need to get rid of this knight. And now h5. When I played h5, I had already seen that I was going to give up my exchange, probably. The reason why I did not play f6 before going h5 was... What was the reason? What was the reason I did not play f6? How many elo points do you lose if you lose against the 1300? Many. 18? I didn't know this, but what was concerning me? H4 is not a move I was concerned about, or was I? Let's see. H4 is a move. I think I just wanted to do something quicker. Maybe f6 was an option. H4. H4, maybe it was H4 actually, I was concerned. So the point is, if I take here, you take on d6. And that's good for white. So the computer wants knight b6. So what happens if I take here? This is not good for me, I guess, yeah? And now the bishops are very strong. Yeah, okay, that seems to make perfect sense. So h5 I played. h5, g5, h4. I mean, I have to at this point play h4. I can't let her play h4 herself. And when I played rook h5, I already knew that after king f2, getting out of this file, after f6, Bishop f3, I knew I was gonna give this rook. The only thing I hadn't seen when I took on g5, my initial plan was to take back like this. No, sorry, I mean to take back like this. And then I suddenly saw rook d4, and I was like, I think I was just hallucinating about how I would have time to play this and defend this pawn. But obviously she just takes, and white is sort of close to just being winning. So thankfully I even had this option. I mean, if she had taken instantly, I might have just instantly taken back with the rook, which thankfully she didn't. Manas, are you at work? Manas probably at work. So yeah, thankfully I had the option of taking with the pawn. And actually here the computer, although it's an entire exchange, the computer says white has to be very accurate to white has to be very accurate to even get an advantage. The computer says rook g1. But I thought at least now I'm much happier than before. I mean, material-wise, I'm worse, but at least I have 2 knights, and she was getting very low on time. She was getting very low on time, so I knew having to deal with the 2 knights would be very tough. And it turned out to be too much. Knight f6, rook d4, c5. Actually here I thought that I was just winning, because I thought, oh, after rook a4 I can go c5. And I thought I'm just gonna take here. And then I saw, oh dearie me. And suddenly this isn't the same story at all. And here, I don't know if white can take on a7 first. Yeah, this is even better. Oh, you don't even, you can just go here as well. Or you can take. Both are options, and both are very good options for white. So I was like, yep, can't do that. So let's take it easy. Try to flag her. I didn't try to flag her. Of course I didn't. a6, king g2, knight d5, and she just, unfortunately, she just cracked. She was very low on time, and I think the knights coming into her position was too much for her, so she took. But now, instead of being an exchange down, I'm a pawn up. The knight is still probably stronger than, now the knight is stronger than the bishop. Took some work still, but I think the rest of the game is not too interesting. I got there eventually. She fought on valiantly. But yeah, there's no, I mean, this pawn is never gonna get anywhere. Manas. There was definitely one woman in the open section. True. Yeah, so there is an open and women's section, and there was one. Did I have c4 cutting after rook? So after rook c4. Here. Okay, and what's the idea if I take here? Oh no, then just take here. Sorry. Yeah, c4. Actually, c4 looks good. So the computer just wants to go back. And he likes this for white. I guess you mean in this moment, yeah? So this, you got a lot of blacks. I got six blacks, 4 whites. These things happen in Olympiads. I think even 7 blacks and 3 whites can happen. Oh, after C3. Oh, you take with a check down. Papa Bless, what was my final score? My final score was 7 out of 10. Am I going to play tonight? No. At this point, I'd be amazed if I even managed to get through all the games. But let's move on to game 5, and we'll be almost halfway through. Game 5 is the first time in a while I've played a stronger opponent. The first time in a while I beat a stronger opponent. As you might know, I'd had a very tough chess summer, so this game was good for my confidence. It was, I think, my 3rd black game in a row. Oh no, only 2nd. But then the next one was a pity. But anyway, I played the Caro-Kann. I've played this line quite a bit, and actually David, cutie David Howell, told me that evening, "Oh, I saw your game, very well played." So my good friends David and Vlad, they both play this line as black, this e takes f6. And also I think Niels played it in the Olympiad as well. And I really liked the ideas here. I've had a very good score with this opening. And once again, I think I just got a position where I was more familiar with the ideas as my opponent than my opponent. Here, I think white has just lost some. Usually, in this sort of position, this pawn is here on c4. Now it's black's idea is to just play queen d7, and in some lines, I think it's a Jobava game as black. Black takes on h3. So she played, oh, I didn't mean, and I mean, as you can see, even the engine likes black already here. What's the opening book? There are already almost no games here. Because I think white doesn't usually play bishop e3, maybe? Anyway, I don't want to go into too much detail in the opening, but, and let's also switch off the engine again. Yeah, well, as you can see from the engine, after bishop f5, I didn't play bishop d5. It was my first idea. And then I thought, you know what I want to do? I want to force her to take, and then I want to bring my queen over here and somehow checkmate her. This is how I think, basically. One second. Okay. So that was my idea. Queen b3, rook here, and I think if I remember correctly, I think the engine just wants to take this pawn. Oops. Which looks like I just sort of discarded it. I thought all my pieces are sort of looking towards your king. I thought you can't take it. But the computer, of course, is cool as a cucumber. Just wants to grab it. I'm also sorry, guys. I'm not gonna do much more very in-depth analysis because we're just gonna be here all night otherwise. Try and show you some critical moments. But yeah, queen takes b7 was an option according to the engine, but to play it over the board I think is very tough. I also think I missed the computer. There was something for me here which the computer liked. Or maybe I'm forgetting. So basically what happened in this game is I sort of forgot about this intermezzo move. Thankfully for me it didn't have any serious consequences. Shaggy Adams! Hola! Hola, ¿qué tal? Yeah, I was lucky this didn't have any bad consequences to forget about this intermezzo. Of course I cannot take the queen because this would be bad news because just be losing. So rook takes e1, knight takes, and thankfully for me queen h5 the computer likes better with the idea of coming here, I think. As it was, I'm also just gonna thank you, Krol Konok. Thanks a lot. Also, is that how you pronounce it? Krol Konok? Maybe. She missed one thing in this game. Yeah, this was not a good move. And it's funny, I thought for a very long time before playing queen g3. And I thought, let's make sure the knight doesn't have any good moves. And I did see knight b4, but I think I'd planned a move here. Which probably was rook here, but it's just... just not very good. Maybe I forgot that after queen e5 there's queen g3. Or what else could I forget? And now it's just, I mean, this should still be a draw, but I really, at this point, I was already, of course, playing for more than a draw. And I should have played queen c7 or d6 and just take this pawn. There we go. So yeah, I didn't do that. I played queen g3. Luckily, she didn't go queen knight b4, but knight f2. And now I thought, okay, now I'm just gonna take this annoying pawn. I played rook e6. I think I was a bit too careful here. There were better ways of winning this pawn than what I did. I was absolutely, at this point I thought, okay, let's not get checkmated on the back rank, shall we? h6, queen d5. And now I was a bit annoyed at myself because I was sure she wanted to swap queens, and I thought if she manages to swap queens, I wasn't sure if this endgame was winning for me, which is sort of the main reason I played knight here. Knight d6, rook c5. I don't even know if, yeah, basically here, this was fun. Like, again, my opponent was quite low on time here. After knight c3, rook here, I was like, okay, she's just gonna resign. Like, I'm just winning a piece. Actually, funnily enough, during the game, I wasn't even sure what I was going to do after queen here. I sort of forgot that this is just hitting both. And after knight e2, I'm just winning a piece. So she went queen here. And I thought, okay. Like, I just played the next couple of moves instantly. Whoops. Thought, okay. Took her knight. And I was expecting resignation, and then she took here. And I was like, hold on a second. All my pawns are falling. And I'm going to turn off the engine, because the engine basically says it's winning the whole way through. But from a human perspective, winning this, like, of course it's a winning position, but it's not what you want to do, having to deal with these 3 pawns. But I think I found a good plan. First pushing this, and then when I played this move, yeah, they do look scary. I mean, I was quite scared at the board truth. Like, I thought objectively it should be winning, but to actually win it, I thought was a different story. So the reason I played King G7, I had a sneaky little trap here. So let's imagine she plays a random move like A6. My trap. Oh, Asios just subscribed. Asios' name never gets shown by Streamlabs, unfortunately, because it has ass in it. Yeah, that was the threat. Knight here and checkmate. So that was the reason I played King G7, because obviously otherwise, like, it doesn't work because there's a check. And then after I played it, I was wondering if I could have done it in a different move order. I was wondering, what was I wondering? I was wondering if I could have done this, and if she stops checkmate with a move like this, if I could then play this. I like your tricks. I'm such a trickster. Like, really just like for the playing for tricks. 3 months in a row. Thank you, Asios. So yeah, rook c3. But maybe this a pawn. Maybe this isn't so obvious. Or maybe it is, I'm not sure. I don't think this is so obvious at all. So anyway, I played King G7 for the tricks. She played Rook B6. Then I played Knight F4. Funnily enough, I never took the pawn on G2 in this entire game. I now got a new idea. My new idea was to checkmate her like this. But when she played C5, I thought, don't be silly, Fiona. I thought, okay, if I go Knight H5 now, she's going to go G5 or something. So I thought, if she plays a move like C5, let's just take this pawn. That's a pawn I'm happy to be rid of. Now it's just 2 pawns I have to deal with. B4. And I think she was surprised when I went to... G pawn is pinned. Oh, that's true. So why didn't I play... Why didn't I play Knight H5? Oh no, because the king is still... Sorry. So if I go here, she will just go Rook, King G1. Can't you just take on G2? Maybe. What's the best computer move? Yeah, the computer wants to take on G2. I think Rook takes C5. Oh, it's not that fine. Not that fine. Okay, so I really should have just taken this stupid pawn. But I was just so happy to eliminate one of the 3 pawns. But yeah, this. But it's just like, it's so easy when you have the engine running and the engine says -7. But at the board, you see something like this and you think there's no checkmate. I mean, first of all, he is repeating the moves here, which I'm not sure why he's doing that. And then he's going f5. So what happens here? Okay, it's just mate. And this. This would have been a nice conclusion to the game. But still, it's like, it's a one-tempo affair. And I didn't want to. I mean, maybe I should manage to calculate this until the end. But I didn't. Okay, so truth is saying... What's truth saying? That after knight h4, king g1, knight g3, then we need f5. And then where's the mate after f5, f4? Ah, rook c1 and rook f1. That's also nice. I like that. So what truth is saying, with my idea of why didn't I play this, because of king g1, and truth is saying but I think we're not in time. If we had one more tempo, this would be a nice mate, is what truth is saying. But we need to make it work, and how does it work? So okay, start with f5. Nah, but then we're not in time to checkmate. We need to come back here. Okay, but now it works. Okay, that's nice. Okay, now let's not do that. I mean, okay, so let's just, for the sake of argument, I like this as well. So basically, this is, of course, a checkmate threat. If you come here to try and hide here, f5 is really nice. Okay, I think we got there, truth. Are you happy with this? Are you happy with this line? I think this is nice. This was nice. Okay, but I did not manage to calculate all this, so I decided let's just take this freaking pawn. Yeah, mate also makes me happy. b4, and now that she allows me to come back to c1, now I knew it was game over. a7, knight h5. Knight h5 was working as well, but I just started seeing ghosts here. There is no stopping the mate. I don't even know what I was even thinking here. I wanted to play knight h5. Maybe this is what I thought, but it doesn't make any... I think this is what I thought, but doesn't make sense, because you cannot really stop. Was this what I was afraid of? This is probably what I was afraid of. But then you just win like this. Toilet nogging! She is back! Party time! Thank you, Toilet Nogging, for this, and welcome back. I'm very happy to be back here myself, and it's good to see you, of course. So yeah, this is why I thought... I mean, I wanted to play knight h5, But then I thought, let's just do the sensible thing. It's winning now. Let's not risk anything. Because they're basically here. I thought I'm just going to do knight h5 on the next move. And what can she? She can't really do anything. And yeah, that was all she wrote. With mate to follow. So that was an important win. It also allowed us to get a very nice victory against Indonesia. And we're now over the halfway mark. Yay! What's my uptime? So I've looked at 5 of 10 games and I've been streaming for 2 hours. Keeping in what? I don't know. In score, in something. Okay, so this game was painful against Josefina. Josefina, she's my age, roughly. So I've known her a long time. It was Fricetta who banned Marianti, so thanks for that, Fricetta. There's still quite a few. There's still some mods in the chat, which is good. Okay, so this game, I think this game I just want to show you. Usually Josefina never plays the Italian. She's a Ruy Lopez player, so I had not expected the Italian. But I thought I'd seen this position before. Here, maybe I should take with the queen. Maybe taking with the pawn is too optimistic. You need to pack for your son, Jens. I also need to pack, actually. That's why the last few games we're just gonna... we need to go through them quicker because I'm actually falling asleep. So Queen A F4 was the better move. But I was very happy. I mean, I had no idea the computer would not like this. I was like, yep, I'm just gonna try and checkmate her. I was very happy. But then I understood, oh, maybe I should have developed these poor guys someday. It's the same every time with me, you mean, look. Josefina played well. Basically, she crushed me, but then she gave me a chance in time trouble. Even here, it's already not so clear. I haven't even looked at this game properly. Apparently, I never knew Rook A7 was an option. But I'm just gonna rattle through the games now. I mean, you see, that's what I'm saying. If I had had 2 days to do this, then we would be halfway now. I'd be calling it a night. I'd be calling it a night. Life would be good. But as it is, life is very tough. But no, of course I'm happy to be back streaming, but I don't like to rush through these games like this. Especially I thought some of the games were quite... This game was quite interesting. I enjoyed playing this game. Congratulations. On my result, you mean, Manas? When I got married. When did I get married? I mean, I must have missed it too. I don't even know if Manas is joking or if I missed my own wedding. Korobov. Don't tell me this is about Korobov. Anyway, bishop g6. This Korobov story, every now and then, it pops out of the blue. When did he say that? I don't even know. I must have missed it earlier. It's a meme. It's not a meme. I mean, Anton and I sort of got married. Can I, okay, let me look up the photo. I should be able to find it quite soon. So this was at a New Year's, not a New Year's Eve party, a Christmas party. These are photos sent to me by Ellen Carlson. So we're speaking Christmas Eve in Doha, party at Bologan's house. And should I really show this? I guess so. Yeah. What is this Korobov story? I'll show you in a second. This is the Korobov story. Why is this not working? Okay, here we are. This is just after my wedding to Mr. Korobov. So basically, as you can see, the drinks were flowing. Anton Korobov has always been a very good friend of mine. Oh, maybe he hasn't. He hasn't been a very good friend, but I've always found him very cuddable. And then for some reason, I have no idea why, Victor Bologan conducted a wedding ceremony. And Anton and I got married. You can see the witnesses there behind us, Pavel Tregubov and Alexander Kostenyuk. You can see Alexander Kostenyuk is very happy for us. Has a nice wee face, smile on her face. And yeah, so after this happened, I think I've maybe posted on Facebook, maybe I once or twice wrote something somewhat open. Maybe I wrote something like hobby, but it was always meant as a joke, and then like nothing came, like I didn't hear of this again. The funny thing was, the next day I saw Korobov. The next day I had the worst hangover of my life. And I saw Anton Korobov in the hotel lobby. And he was like, "How are you, my dear wife?" And I was like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, then I didn't hear anything about this for years and years. And then suddenly, out of the blue, a lot of people asked me about whether I was married to Anton. So this is a story that sort of comes and goes. But I am not actually married to Anton Korobov. Sorry. Yeah, I think Luke asked me as well, because I think there was a youth tournament, maybe last year's under 20, where suddenly a lot of the players, I don't know, I mean, it's sort of concerning that the under 20s would be discussing my marriage situation. But yeah. I mean, Anton Korobov, don't get me wrong, I adore Anton, and he is one of the most, yeah, if you Google search for my name, I've seen this. But I think that's the same for a lot of girls. Anyway, I wanted to make one more point about this game. So it's just winning now for white, and especially after what I had missed at the very start of this line was that there would be knight f1. My question ignored by Fiona. I ignored it because I don't know what alimony is. I wasn't sure if that was a typo. Then do you get rating points in alimony? What's alimony? So if I marry a chess player, what you're saying is, will I get half of his rating points? I know, if you get, if you get divorced, I'd missed that part. I'd missed the divorce part. I mean, if I got half the rating points of pretty much any player in the world, assuming my husband makes more money. I mean, the poor guy, if he made less money than me, If he made less money than me, then I'd feel very sorry for him. Anyway, and what I was saying is that it is that at the beginning of this line, I had forgotten that knight f1 would defend the rook on d2. And basically here she can just take this. I mean, I saw she could take it. I didn't really... I think I was just gonna basically resign here. But again, she was low on time. So she played this move. And I think she just missed bishop c2. And now, of course, the computer says queen b5 and white is winning, but I don't think, just in a game, it's not that obvious, but with no time. Steil-Antoni need to pick up the kids from school. Good to see you, Steil-Antoni, and I'll hopefully be streaming a lot more again in the near future. I was away for a good reason, though. Olympiads are tough events. There is not much spare time. The little spare time you do have is spent on chess or such. What do I actually do for a living? Let's not go there now. Let's talk about this another time. But mostly chess stuff. So rook e1 she played, and suddenly things got a bit messy here. From a position that had been completely winning for her. The point is that this knight is now suddenly trapped. And I missed a... should go as captain next time. Who do you go for? Would you try and take Captain Carl's role, Luke? Or would you try and find another team? Or maybe the women's team? Anyway, so the next moves were pretty much forced. Maybe g3 was an option. But I missed a draw. I think that's the last thing I want to show you about this game. For a second I thought it was a draw, and then I forgot something very stupid. So basically here, after knight d7, this position is a draw. I haven't analyzed it out completely yet. What is happening here? Alexander Fier has just created a group. I don't know what's going on. So here, after knight d7, I had a... Can I say a mind fart? I sort of had a mind fart. No, not here. Sorry, not here yet. After bishop a7 and knight e5, here I had a mind fart. Because I was going to play king f6. But then suddenly I thought, oh wait, the knight comes here. And I thought now I have to just give up this bishop and this endgame is losing. And the mind fart is that I completely forgot that after a7 I don't have to give up my bishop at all. I can just go knight c7 and I'm covering the square. So I basically I just forgot about that. Because I knew that f6 was the much better square for the king because of what happened in the game. Because after king here, I mean even here apparently it's still a draw. I did not realize that. We'll have a look at that in a second. But the problem is that, I mean even knight c7 might also be a draw. Although maybe not, but bishop b8. But is a knight c4 completely winning? At which point? At which point Jens Jess? Okay, I mean, this was the game, and it was just, I just resigned. But what I had to do after knight f6, so, this is what Jens Jess is saying. So knight c4 here. I mean, this I don't think. Like, of course, it would be hard work to hold it, but I don't think this is winning for white. But of course, I could be wrong. It sort of feels like these pawns are so advanced that it will be hard for black to make, for white to make progress quick and to push the pawns quick enough. So yeah, after knight king f6, I mean, I was kind of disappointed. The only reason yeah, Fuchsia, that's a good point actually. The only reason I wasn't too sad was because my team lost 3-1. Had we only lost 2.5, I would have been very upset to not hold it. I mean, I think all in all, she of course completely deserved to win the game. But when you are given opportunities like this, it's sort of a pity not to grab them. But okay, moving on. Was this the? I think this was the last game I lost in the tournament. So thank fuck for that. I was a white in the next game. Finally. Oops. Aha, it immediately gives me the right color. I just didn't notice it. E4, C5, C3, and Alapin. I had prepared for knight d6. And actually, Stan, if Stan is still in the chat, Stan, I had looked at some of the lines we had been discussing. I think Stan might be gone. But I'd done quite a bit of prep on this here on that day. But then when she goes knight c6, I like playing this line with f4. I think it just suits my style more, and I'm quite happy with this position. It was weird. My opponent, I think she didn't realize that knight c6 would not just be a transposition to d6, that I had this additional option of playing with f4. Because here, after f4, she fought for 40 minutes or something ridiculous before going e6. And this game, sorry, Vanvard just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing, Vanvard. And welcome to the Fifi Subs Army. Again, I've been saying for a long time that subscriber perks are coming, but I think it has been better lately. Subs are given more priorities. Is that fair enough to say? Also, I'm waiting for a partner to introduce more. Hint, hint, Twitch. 96 subscribers. Can we get to 100? Can we get to 100 tonight? Please? We need a better name than Sub-Army. Like Beliebers, or... Is it Lady Gaga that has the... What are they called? Little Monsters? I mean, on Discord, they are called Fionians. Fionians was also a name that I'd coined at I played the Hastings pair splits with my former housemate Johannes once, and we were called the Fionians. It's like the Minions. Luxusburgers. Subgens. Subgens! Subgens is witty. But I feel we can do better. Got to go. Not going to be able to see you and Davy on Wednesday. Just realized I'll be on a train back to London. That's a pity, Aldo, but I'll see you in London in November for the match, I'm sure. And thank you for stopping by, and thank you for subscribing as well. Guys, I know it's only 3 games to go, but I'm gonna have to get some water. I need water. So I'll be back in literally 20 seconds, so don't go anywhere at all. Cheers, Fuchsia! As following all your games. Thank you, Van Vert. Thank you for following. Thank you for supporting me. I like that Fuchsia has taken you through the game already. Actually, not so much happened, I think, in this game. I'd liked my position from the opening. I hope you don't mind, Fuchsia, if I take back over. So basically, yeah, I thought if she's going to castle kingside, I'm gonna kill her. And I don't mean as in kill, but as in checkmate. But then she did castle queenside. I thought that might be dangerous as well, but wasn't. Actually, Niels Grandelius sent me a message that night and just said, very solid game today. And I was like, yep. I wonder if Fiona is upset about losing her record. Which record? Which record did I lose? Yeah, I thought my position looked promising, but in fact I don't think there was ever anything. Even in the final position, we're sort of just repeating moves. And the computer says +1, but Niels said to me, and Niels is a very good player, obviously, he said it's really not easy for White to make progress here at all. So I do think a draw is a fair result. I also, in a way, it's good that I'm leaving again tomorrow, because my parents are still away on their trip to Australia, New Zealand, Asia. And I'm a big baby and I struggle being home alone. In the summer it's fine, but now it's getting colder, and I've tried putting the heating on in my room, and it's sort of making noise like it's working, except it won't heat. And there's also no food in the house. So there's no food, no heating. So I'm looking forward to leaving to leaving tomorrow. And when I come home at the end of the month, my parents will be back. I'll come home to a warm. Actually, last night it was so cold in my room that I slept with a hoodie and socks and leggings on. So I was like, yeah, time for mommy and daddy to come home. Or to move out. Bad aches, that is a good point. Simon's stream last Thursday. I missed that. What's up? What's up, Miracle? I need to be supervised at all times. Someone to go shopping for food. Ideally, he will cook the food as well. Ideally. Can we get to 100 subscribers? Can I beg? Okay, so this was a draw. 3 games to go. I'm trying to remember what this game was. What happened here? Oh, this game. Oh, I got so lucky in this game. Okay, I mean, she was only 1700, but I was completely lost. This is also, oh, there's something I need to tell you guys. Okay, I'll tell you when we get to the last game. But basically, out of my 6 black games, I played G5 in 4 of them. Which my coach was just like... yeah, I think he just had enough, basically. I thought, okay, I'm gonna play a Queen's Gambit declined, which I've done for most of my life. I thought, no craziness today, just a nice and sensible, solid opening. I looked at it until here somewhere. Now I was in uncharted territory. And now I got excited. I was like, right, I've developed all my pieces. So what's next? I'm gonna try and checkmate you. Fiona's dream husband brings wine and food and cooks too. That sounds about right. Don't need anything else. Food and wine, I'll be perfectly happy. Yeah, G5. I don't think G5 is such a bad move here. Because just because never really a bad move. No, I think in this position it's okay. Because this bishop's sort of looking this way. In some lines, maybe I can do a rook swing. That's very optimistic. But yeah, just, you know, I don't know. You get the idea. So knight here, of course, if you say A, you have to say B. I'm not commenting much because I'm trying to remember what I was thinking. Sensible move, f6. I mean, f6 is not a very good move at all. Computer wants c4. I'm not sure what c4 is. Yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't play c4 because this does look nice. I mean, wait, why? What? I couldn't take it because this. No, actually, I did. Like, of course, I didn't want to go c4 because I didn't want to leave this hanging. Chess, Patzer, Berg. I guess Berg stands for Bergen. I guess so. So good evening. So yeah, the reason I played f6 just to defend this pawn. What does the computer want to do? Computer is desperate to play h4, which again, to the human eye, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what, and then you get the square. Yeah, okay, so that is of course the reason. How did you know? I don't know. I think I just knew somehow. So that's of course the reason, this square here is the reason why I didn't play g4 myself. You had a nice Olympiad. Yes, I think the result was good. I had a good time. The play, as we're just in the process of seeing, was so-so. There was some things were left to be desired for, or what's the expression? But I think even, you know, although my play wasn't the best, I think my best game, by the way, is still to come. I think my best game was the last round. Although I didn't play my best chess, I was quite happy with levels of concentration. I thought I prepared quite seriously. I was quite serious during the Olympiad. I wasn't active in the tipsy hen on Discord. I was focused during my games, didn't get up much. Also, when I got a bad position, I was quite resilient, which I think has always been one of maybe my strong points. Perpetual stalemate. Who is perpetual stalemate? Papier Cedric. How does perpetual stalemate know Cedric? Yeah, maybe Sign is a bad influence, maybe. But yeah, so as I'm saying, there's been good and bad in this Olympiad, but overall I'm happy. Overall it's been a good Olympiad and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So h4, h3. Sorry. Is it too late now to say sorry? Cause so king f7, the idea is to not allow the queen to, no, the queen is on b2 at them. So the idea, what was the idea? I don't know. Maybe to bring the rook over, maybe to not allow any checks. Chesspetzer, followed all your games, seen many helpful attacking chess. I'm glad. Maybe you saw some things that will deter you too. Maybe you saw g5, f5. Maybe one time too many and thought, I shouldn't really do this because I don't think you should and I don't think I should either. So king f7, rook e1, rook g8, another game where my opponent was low on time. Yeah, I'm not sure why it is that my opponents were often so low on time. Knight c3, and I thought now that the knight has finally left e2, I thought now I can play g4 now that the knight cannot come to f4 any longer. But it didn't work out great. I mean, I didn't realize at the time. I thought in this position I was doing very well. Thank you, Furako. I was very happy here. But then when I played knight e4, I've just considered this move really. And I mean, even this is good for white. But she took here very quickly. And then I saw bishop c4 and I was like, thank fuck for this move. And by thank fuck, I mean thank God. Thankfully. But yeah, I was lucky to have bishop d5 because just forgot about knight c4, bishop c4 completely, which is crazy. So here I was like, okay, if you now refocus, it's not so bad. King h2, rook g5, rook ed1, takes, and now, yeah, I think rook takes was better. But b takes is also not the best, but it's not lost by any margin. But here I thought, here I was starting to feel very optimistic again about my attacking chances. Ideas of taking here and other ideas. What were my other ideas? I don't know. I'm starting to get very, very tired. But yeah, basically bringing the queen in. Mr. Jesus F. Christ. Taking here was a mistake from her. Should play rook g1. But when she took, I don't even realize, I didn't think I'd even looked at this properly. Maybe this was better. But I was just like, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. And all my pieces looking towards the white king, and I was very happy. Then she played queen d6, which is the only move, because my threats were too strong. And now I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to swap queens. But I thought this was okay. King g1. I thought, let's get rid of this pawn. And here, I had only, I mean, she was down to, she has 5 moves to go. 5 moves to go, and she was under a minute. And I was sure she would just take here. It turns out her move was the best computer move, but I was absolutely sure. I'd not even seen bishop f4 to be queen f4, to be honest. But turns out this position is actually much better for me than I thought it was during the game. I thought I would be slightly better here, but I didn't realize it's as good as the computer seems to think it is. H2, at which point? In the game, you mean? Mick. And welcome, Mick. H2 here. Did you win this game? Yes, you're going to see in a second, but this was the luckiest I got in the entire Olympiad. So basically, bishop f, queen f4 came as a complete shock to me, because I just not even considered she could keep the queens on. Because I thought, especially with no time on the clock, I thought my attack would be overwhelming, and then I realized suddenly I don't actually have much of an attack, and rook d6 is a threat. I don't have anything immediate. And then I thought, oh, let me set a little trap. Let me play rook d6 so that she cannot play rook d6, because I will take here. So this happened. And then she played rook f1. Oh, you can see, I didn't realize we had the clock times here. So after playing rook f1, she's still under 1 minute. I think the clock times are not completely accurate, because I remember at this moment, rook f1 again came as a complete shock to me. Of course, the idea was that you cannot take my queen because of checkmate. But rook f1 I had not seen. And then in this position, basically both of these computer lines are the same, they're just different move order. But I completely, it's just a forced line really. I think what I forgot was that f6 is defended. I'd forgotten f6 was defended. But white still has to take this and has to take on h2. Black has to play rook c2, king back. Does it matter which rook you take? Not really, I don't think. And then we'd have to play this ending, which the computer gives +1 for black. And yeah, the passed pawns are dangerous, but yeah, this is of course what I should have done. What is shocking is that after rook f1, I did not see this line at all. what I saw is this rook is hitting my queen. This knight is attacked. And I basically just thought I was lost. I had, after she played rook f1, I had 8, I looked at my clock, I had 8 minutes. And I was like, right, Fiona, don't panic. You have 8 minutes to figure this out. But the problem is there are not so many moves here. I mean, the queen has a limited amount of squares. What I did end up playing was queen e5. I mean, I only have e5. This isn't a move, obviously, because it's not threatening anything, and this is attacked. And queen e7 just loses on the spot to knight f5. And I don't have anything here. And I mean, as you can see, if you don't see this idea of h2 and rook c1, and I think I would have seen it if I hadn't forgotten that f6 was covered, and then basically it's just lost. And suddenly this 8 minutes suddenly tick down very quickly, and I realized that queen e5 was a losing move, but I just couldn't see another one, and I was kicking myself because I knew what was coming. What was coming was rook d7 check, king e6, and queen takes g4, which she didn't do. But here, now is the crazy thing. So we're on move 40. It's her last move before the time control. And she has maybe 40 seconds to make her last move. And she is already, so she's thinking for maybe 20 seconds, then 30 seconds, and she has her hand above her queen, like she has seen queen g4 as well. Queen g4, f5 is my only move, and just either queen d1 or queen g7, defending the rook. And suddenly I'm a piece down and getting checkmated. Why not king e8 instead of king e6? Doesn't really change anything. The queen still takes here and defends the rook. And if I go f5, once again she has a choice between, but queen d1. It's just the easiest one. So yeah, after king e6, she has her hand above her queen. And then suddenly she looks at her clock and she's down under 10 seconds at this point. And then she bangs out rook e7. And my first reaction was like, completely missed rook e7 as well. Like in this game, I just missed a lot of things. And I was like, okay, I can just resign. I'm losing my queen. And then I was like, oh, hold on. Actually, all my pieces are now defending themselves very nicely, and I actually have a knight, a rook, and a pawn for the queen. So we've now made the time control, move 41, and she here took 15 minutes because I think she was in disbelief. The poor girl, the day before, she'd played a really good game against another player that she was a big underdog against. I think the day before she was in an ending, a pawn up, and she just blundered a piece in a move or something. And I think she realized here that she could have just played king takes g4 and that was game over. So she started thinking here, but then, what? But then realized knight e5 is her only move. There's no choice because this is just winning for me. So she took here and she offered a draw. How old is she? I think she was born in 2000. She was young, but not a child. So she took and offered a draw. And I saw that and I thought the easiest way to make a draw was queen f5. And I thought, okay, if I want to do something, I have to do this. But there is just a perpetual. And if you look at the engine, basically everything is just a draw here. The reason I didn't accept a draw offer was because I thought I can't really lose it. So she just still has to play a couple of moves. You know, even when I thought she could play rook a queen f5, I was wondering if I could play for a win with a move like rook h8, which maybe I would have done because I'm mental. So I was wondering if I wanted to play for a win, if I could do this. Because I'm sort of covering all the entry squares. This knight I thought was a monster. But yeah, I don't think I can. Funver, thank you very much for the cheers and for subscribing once again. But then to my shock, I mean, I was happy, of course, to win this game. I'm always happy to win a game, even if it was tough. I saw her in the toilet after the game. She was crying because King H2 just loses on the spot. Because now the line we were looking at earlier, if she goes back to H1, and now this all comes with tempo, and there's no check, and this is just game over. But this is also game over because she's just getting mated. She resigned here. King f5, there's rook h5, and giving up the queen is not an option. So yeah, that was my luckiest win of the Olympiad. It's not a game I was proud of, but gotta take the win. As I said, I did feel sorry for her, but a win is a win. And on to the next one. The next game wasn't good either. Good night, Furako. Thank you for watching. Win is a win. So, second last game, I was still a bit, not in shock, but yeah, the previous day had been tough. Chess for Tigers, never feel sorry. I really should read Chess for Tigers. How did Luxembourg finish overall? Good evening, Alice. How are you? Good to see you. I did post the link to the results in the chat earlier. Luxembourg did well. We finished a bit above our seeding. I just posted the link to the results there in the chat. What a nice and chill stream this is. Really enjoy it. Thank you, Viper. I'm actually enjoying this too. It's just a pity. I would have really liked to break this stream up into 2 streams and be able to go into a bit more detail in the games. But I think it's gone well, and I always appreciate any feedback, guys, on an aside, whether it's positive, negative, things you did like, things you didn't like, things you think we could do better. I'm not sure I agree with Banan. Of course, you can learn from your losses, but losses can be extremely tough, and it's like, it's one thing. Like, of course, I'm happy for myself that I won, but I think at the same time I can also feel sorry for her, because I know that if I was in her shoes, and I've said this many times, like, every now and then I will have games where I will just cry after the game, because chess is, I think chess is extremely, extremely tough. and even more so when you play for your team, and even more so at a different. Actually, I don't remember the last time I cried at an Olympiad game, but I remember crying at the French League. And why did you have 3 blacks in a row at the Olympiad? It's just because we would double colors as a team, and then I had a day off. So these things happen. I mean, it's really, I talked about this earlier, it's really not a big deal, I think, to get 3 blacks in a row at an Olympiad. I mean, David had 4 blacks in a row at some point this Olympiad, and the previous, I think, European teams or Olympiad, he had 5 in a row. So sometimes when you play for the team, because you have this reserve player, and then you sit out, and sometimes the plan is to come back with the other color, but then you get a double color as a team pairing. So these things are unpredictable, and I think that's just what you sign up for if you play for a team. Please upload this to YouTube. This will be uploaded to YouTube as soon as the stream is over. I will upload it to YouTube. Yeah, another lucky game is this round 10. So this is penultimate round. Against Josefina Paulé, I was expecting the Ruy Lopez. I'd already been planning to play the bird. An opening I first looked at with Cedric, funnily enough, who was also my coach at this Olympiad 10 years ago. He was my private coach at my last junior world championship, under 20 in Argentina. So we'd looked at this together back then. I've barely ever played it in 10 years, and I thought it was time to spring it again. She couldn't have expected it, because I've played so many things against Ruy Lopez over the years. C3 is not a normal move here. Bishop A4 is the main line. Is knight d4 called the bird? Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm not sure how come that both 1f4 and knight d4 called the bird. I guess Mr. Bird was a very creative. 1f4 is the bird, but this is also definitely called the bird. Here c3. I'd be surprised. Maybe c3. It has been played twice before, but yeah, knight d2 and f4 are the 2 main lines. The idea is after f4 you play f5, and after knight d2, knight f6, and then there's some lines which I'd prepared. So basically after c3 I was on my own, but because I'm kind of familiar, at least with some ideas, and here we go again, h5. This was my last black game. I thought, I've been doing so well with all my kingside pushes. But I think in this game it was actually okay. The computer doesn't like it so much, but I think this is okay for black. And here we go. h5, g5. Mission success. Actually, Cedric told me after the game, yep, I get the message. You're not gonna get any more blacks. You've been live for just over 3 hours. By this point, you should have consumed 360 milliliters. How much is 360 milliliters? Is that 1/3 of a liter or 3 liters? It's probably 3 liters, yeah? Let me have a sip of water to that. So it's just 1/3 of a liter, but that's nothing for 3 hours. I think Stay Hydrated bot is not great. I should also really note what a milliliter is, shouldn't I? Okay, so g5, here we go. Queen e1, long castles. And as you can imagine, I was very happy here. I thought I'm gonna somehow push these pawns on the king side and checkmate her. Except after h4, there was no checkmating. Oh, did we already miss the... No, we're gonna get to it. There's one thing in this game that I'm curious to analyze myself. It's here. At this moment in time, Scala Chess. I posted the results just above. We ended as a team in place... it doesn't say here. I think we came 44th or something. Something just higher, a bit higher than our seeding. So yeah, this is what I want to look at. I haven't had time to analyze this since coming home. I was looking at ideas of sacrifices on a g4, but if this works, I think it's very nice. So she has to take, bishop takes, knight e3. Why is knight e3 the only move? So what if she... What's my threat? My threat is just h. h3 and bringing the queen to h4. Okay, so knight e3, h3 anyway. David Hayden. Good evening, David. How are you? I don't think... It might be the first time I see David in the streams. Frozen. You're so funny, man. You should be a comedian, goddamn. Okay, so knight e3, the only move here, apparently. Okay, d5 I wouldn't understand, I don't think. So rook dg8 seems to make a lot more sense to me. Okay, also let's just have a quick look at what happens here. Okay, this I understand, that it's not... Oh no, actually even this, what's going on here? And the computer's saying I have 2 pieces for the rook and I'm completely fine. Okay. Okay, so with rook g8 we're preparing this. Scala Chess. Your style of play in this tournament looks like your bullet games here on Twitch. You took a lot of risks. Yeah, maybe a bit too much. Maybe I could have played g5, h5. Maybe once or twice less. But I had fun. I had fun at this Olympiad. I enjoyed my games. I would love it if I had played knight g4, but let's have a look. So after rook g8, now taking on g2 is a threat, or is it not? So computer wants d4, which looks absolutely insane to me. Whoops, not here. I mean, we're doing this with an engine now, because even if I wasn't completely tired, I'm not sure I'd be able to. What's my opponent's grade here? 1924. Yeah, so it says this is her grade behind her name. So king e2. Okay, now we have the same material kind of count as in the line above, but just the white king is in more of a situation, I guess. This rook is threatening to come in, and the computer likes this for black. Did you really win 20 waiting points in the Olympiad? I think just a bit less, maybe 16 or 18. Thank you, David. Yeah, Simon's streams are the best, obviously. Yeah, I would have liked this, but still, I mean, giving up a piece here, I think it's still, I need to work on my calculation. I did not see that far. I mean, you have to, I mean, you're giving up 2 pieces, really. So you have to be pretty sure of what you're doing here. But yeah, I wish, of course, in hindsight, I'd played knight g4. As it was, I played rook g8. I was still happy here. If she'd let me, I was gonna... Okay, this is a threat now, I think. So... Sorry, guys. I'm getting a bit tired. So f5. Yeah, maybe queen h4 was the difficulty. I agree. Oh, Bunny! I just saw that, but the message from Trent 2 hours ago. I'll reply to that later. Okay, so f5, and very soon, and now things started going horribly wrong for me. I mean, that's also the problem with a move like knight g4 and this sort of positions that are very concrete. Sometimes you only get one shot, really, and if you don't grab your opportunity immediately, then it might just be too late. You play one more move, which looks logical. I mean, if you look at the computer evaluation, it likes knight g4, and then everything else is just already a white advantage. So I think if you play enterprising chess like I do, you have to back it up with the calculation and with some... I mean, playing knight g4, it's risky if you haven't calculated it. So yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is if I want to continue playing in the style I play in, I need to work on my calculation and on my tactics. Chespatzer thank you so much for stopping by, and hopefully see you soon. And good night. So yeah, what happened in this game was after queen a5, bishop d1, knight f7. What happened is that this move I had completely... Is everything you ever wanted? One moment? Would you capture it? Or just let it slip? Yo! I miss my brother. Vomitor ego sum. Hello and welcome. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. I'm not sure if I said the words in the right order, but I'll put everything down to tiredness. So queen d4. Completely missed queen d4, and suddenly I'm in a whole world of pain. But on the surface he looks calm and ready. Drop bombs. And yeah, I don't have a good move here at all. The move I played, knight g5, is the best move, but it's the best of many bad moves. Yeah, basically here I couldn't stop. I couldn't do anything here. So knight g5, I'm lucky to even have this resource at all, otherwise the position would be completely lost simply. It's still lost, but it's not 100% lost. King g1, yeah, because one thing she needed to look out for was once again this little trick followed by g2. So king g1, bishop e8, f6. I was not a happy camper here, as you can imagine. Bishop f7 was her first move. There was no need for that. Might still be winning, but there was no need to give up the bishop. Could go. I mean, I'm just looking at the engine, but d4. As it was, I think this might have been fine, but rook f1 is already too much of a tempo loss, I think, because the problem is maybe she didn't see that she couldn't take on e5, because now suddenly you cannot defend this pawn. And this is surprisingly, I mean, even the computer says this is just equal already, funnily enough. I think the point is just that this king is just too weak. I mean, maybe white is even the one that needs to be careful here. So, here I got some new hope, some newfound hope. And, but to my surprise, she cracked, she didn't crack, but how did it disappear? I mean, it disappeared really, Alice, at this moment here when I mean, even when I don't play, oops, sorry. When in this position, I don't play knight g4, that's what I was saying earlier. Any other move, it's just too slow. And suddenly white untangles and it's just better. Who did you want to win the Olympics? I was very happy with China winning both. I didn't really have a favorite in the women's, I don't think. In the men's, I would have been very happy for Ukraine to win it. I thought they would have been deserving winner 2 years ago. Of course, I have many great friends on Team France and Team England. India or US, India would have been very happy as well to see India win. I've been good friends with Hare Krishna for many, many years. Get on really well with Adiban and Vidit. Vishy is a great guy. Sashi Kiran, the only one I maybe don't know personally, but Team India, fantastic team. But I'm also very happy with China winning it. Yeah, here I started to get new hope. Because it's suddenly not so easy for white to make progress. And I think she was so frustrated. I mean, it's crazy that knight e3 is the best computer move. Women's Team India, yeah, they're also nice. It's just I don't had any strong preference in the women's. There was no one where I was like, oh, they're really great friends. So knight e3, I took on d3. Knight g4. And I was wondering what was happening with this rook endgame. It's probably still winning for white. But white needs to be very accurate here. I think what the computer is saying, I think g5 as she played, oops, sorry. G5 is fine, but now you need to play A5 to stop this, because in the game she played King F1, and after B5 now suddenly my pawns. I think this endgame might just be a draw. It's hard to say because I'm terrible at endgames, but I think this might be a draw. After A5, apparently it's winning for white, just because I don't get this counterplay. And she is going to now just come and collect my pawns here. And if I don't have the counterplay, then it's just losing. I'm gonna have to end this stream very soon because it's actually freezing up here. And I'm falling asleep. So B5. And now I get the counterplay, I think literally just in time. And I'm sorry to be clicking through all this because I thought it was an interesting endgame. And I'm not doing much explaining, but it's all pretty much forced. Like I have to untangle and then push my pawns on the queen side. I think it might just be a draw by one tempo. It's funny after the game because she was so frustrated when we got to this ending. Yeah, I had to make sure this was okay. And she took here, and she thought that she was winning because I think she forgot about the check. I think she just thought that after rook. So if I don't have a check, I'm losing because here this is just game over. I don't know why my mouse keeps doing this. So she told me after the game. She told me after the game if I'd played rook here instead of f7, I'd just be winning. And I was like, no, because it's the same. It's the same story. Because I will give you these checks, and when you go here, now I can come back to defend from behind, and I'm going to pick up this pawn in time. I mean, there's even here no way, I think, to get my e-pawn. So yeah, that would have been a draw anyway. So if you go to the f file, of course, I give a check on f4 and pick up the pawn on f7. So getting this endgame was the best she could do, but it's of course just which federation was she? She was from Albania. I thought she played a good... Okay, I mean, here there's nothing more to... I mean, even if I let her go, get all the way to the 7th rank, still draw. So yeah, another lucky escape, but thankfully I managed to finish on a high, and I'm going to go through this one quite quickly. Hey, I'm Albanian. I would love to come to Albania. Is one of the few countries in Europe that I'm still missing for my collection. So hopefully I'll come some point next year. Okay, last game. Short intro to my last game. My opponent in the last game is the same age as me, and I played her in this tournament I was talking about earlier, where I played the bird, my last junior world championship. I'd played against her, we'd made a draw, I was also white, so we're the same age, we've always been roughly the same rating. I mean, on paper, she's 80 points higher than I am, but I just lost 60 points. A couple of months ago, I was 20 to 100. She's a woman, I am too. What's my favorite country that I've been to in Europe? I mean, I have many. Maybe favorite country, not so much. My favorite place, and I'm very biased, is Corsica. I'm a big fan of Iceland. Massive, massive Iceland fan. I loved Montenegro. Loved Montenegro last summer. Also loved Bosnia-Herzegovina. Also a big Ireland fan, famously. Wink, wink. And yeah, I'd be very surprised, Luke, if Judith Polgar was playing another tournament. She hasn't played anything since retiring. She retired after, I think she played the Tromsø Olympiad. Did she play? I think she played in Tromsø and retired after that, and I haven't heard anything about a comeback. So I'd be surprised, but anyway, last game, I was gonna do a quick intro. Cedric and I see that she plays against e4, she plays mostly c5, but also, let me have a look at this. Okay, I mean, that must just be a troll or something. It's really weird. So she plays mostly c5, then e6, but also d6 and g6. And it was funny, I was just like, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do against c5, at least she was playing almost only d6. An exchange French, ooh. I first played the exchange French at the Forencial this season with David's blessing, because David told me some good games to look at. The exchange French is not always as boring as its reputation. Also, I'm done with my intro story. Yo-Yo's Nata. Good night, Fiona. I got to play a game tomorrow. Best of luck with your game. Thank you for stopping by. See you soon. So here we are, exchange French. I had not expected knight c6. In fact, I had just hoped she wouldn't play the French at all. Because the only reason I played the exchange French, because otherwise I play main lines or wing gambits, and I didn't really want to play either of them. So here we were, I'm on my own here. Oops. I'm on my own here. But I thought, how hard can it be to just get my pieces out? I was quite I was quite happy when I saw she was gonna castle queenside, because at least we were in for an interesting game now. I was very happy with this move, queen a4 and bishop b5, but it turns out it wasn't. I thought this pin is gonna be really annoying. But the computer is such a smart ass, and the computer's like, I don't care about you creating a weakness, I'm just gonna get counterplay. I looked at this position before. I thought we'd come to the conclusion bishop b2 was stronger than bishop a3. But basically, the computer just really likes black here, and coming with hindsight, I was like, yeah, this actually looks good. But I think just for to the human eye at first sight, you're like, yeah, don't want to let this happen. So she came back. But with the hindsight, that rook e8 is actually really good for black. Then turns out b5 is the move, and knight e5. And this looking good for white. Yeah, bad habit marker, this is pretty much how I think. Just push wherever she castles, just push the pawns on that flank. But once she played this move, I thought, okay, it's time to crush my opponent today. Funnily enough, here, after queen e6 and knight b3, I mean, queen e6 was probably the final mistake. No, not queen. I'm so confused by the engine. But yeah, I think queen e6 is sort of a final mistake already. Because now there's pretty much just no moves. Because the knight is coming in. So you kind of have to take. But I don't know. Hi, Haunted Sink! Haunted Sink. I especially brought it with me upstairs, but where did I put it? Haunted Sink. I was gonna post today on Twitter because I got your book today, but maybe I left it in my room. But I'll make a special Twitter post for you tomorrow because I got your book and your message. So thank you so much, Joey. I'm off to England tomorrow. I will be bringing your book with me, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. And thanks again for sending it. And I really hope we'll be in the same city at the same place. No, in the same city at the same time soon, so I can get it signed, but also get to know you in person. So thanks again. I hope you like. I haven't really read much about what the plot or what the book is about. I think I just want to have a surprise. Where in London am I going? I'm flying to London and then I'm going south. I'm going somewhere near, not near Bristol unfortunately, near Brighton to stay with Mr. David Howell. I'm going to stay with him for a couple of nights before he flies out to the European Club Cup, and I go on a little holiday. And David and I will be streaming together on Wednesday night, which should be a lot of fun. Don't miss it. We'll be starting the same time I started tonight. So 8 p.m. Central European Summer Time, 7 p.m. if you're in the UK. So that will be good. And yeah, a little holiday I'm very much looking forward to. So knight b3, I don't know if anyone in the chat can relate to this, but in the game I was sitting here. I was very happy with my position. I was feeling confident. And I was thinking, if you take my pawn on e5, which you can take, I mean, it's attacked twice, it's only defended once. I thought if you take that pawn, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I genuinely thought it in English as well. I thought if you take my pawn on e5, I'm gonna slaughter you. And what happened is she took my pawn on e5 and I did slaughter her. I love it when a plan comes together. I mean, she's a lovely girl and there's nothing personal, but I'd been lucky for the past couple of games and it was time to show the world I can actually play some chess. So bishop e3. I think from this moment on, am I going to play the 2018 European Rapid and Blitz Chess Championships? So this is in Skopje in December, and I saw it the first time. I forgot to answer. The reason I forgot to answer is that I don't know yet whether I'll be playing or not. So knight takes, bishop e3. So threatening the pawn on a7, and basically everything here comes with a tempo. She played knight c8, but I think a6 would also be very ugly. because taking here I think is not even really a threat. So f4. Sorry guys. And girls. I mean, I'm just looking at the engine, but I think there are many good moves here for white. Looking forward to meeting you. I hope you accept friends wanting to take a picture with you. Of course I do. I always, actually, I find it funny. Sometimes people tell me, oh, I saw you, but I didn't dare talking to you. And I'm like, come on. Out of all the streamers, like, surely I'm not making any, I don't make a very scary impression, do I? I mean, I'd be shocked. I'm shocked when people tell me they didn't dare talking to me. What am I gonna do you? What am I gonna do you? But no, I'm always happy to meet anyone, especially people who watch the streams. But in general, I'm always happy to meet people. Thanks for the stream. Good night, Fiona. Good night, Nova Kika. I think Nova Kika was here for most of the stream, so thanks for that. If we meet, I am coming up screaming, where have you been all my life? I'm pretty tall. I am pretty tall. But still, that shouldn't be so scary. I'm not monstrously tall either. I will remember Fetty. Fetty won. Anyway, let's finish this game. So she played knight c8, bishop d4, so f6 or a6. I think they maybe just... So, okay. I thought I was going to win a piece. I can't win a piece. A6 was still a bit more resilient, but also lost, I think. Rook takes or bishop takes. Both look good. And I'm no pawn up, but look at this poor guy. And this is a monster. And this knight is good. But after knight b6... Oh, Bakuz is leaving. Cheers, Bakuz. Haunted Sink. Is Haunted Sink also leaving? Or is Haunted Sink hoping Bakuz is gonna have a good night? Anyway, knight b6, queen a3, a6. Thanksgiving. I didn't... I thought Thanksgiving was another time. But yeah, you'll get your special Twitter post tomorrow, Haunted Sink. And thanks again for the book. And I'll see you very soon. Have a lovely Thanksgiving. In Canada, yeah, that's maybe what I didn't realize. So yeah, have a lovely time. 8 takes, but look at this monster, this monster, this monster, this monster. Just too much to deal with. There was only one thing I was happy with in this game, was that I became a bit less carefree than in previous games. Of course, black is trying some tricks. And this is the last moment. My initial plan here was to play a4, which is still winning, but for the wrong reasons. Because after rook f8, I thought if I play a4, oh, Alice, I'll be done in 1 minute. I'll be done with this game. 1 minute. So my idea, if I'd played a4, was to defend everything from the second rank. And then I saw knight c4, and suddenly black is winning, because he has this sick threat of queen f1 mate. And suddenly there is not really anything I can do to stop this. So that would have been bad. So I saw this, so I played rook e3, which I think is the most accurate, because now I'm ready to meet rook f8 with rook f3. So she played h5, but now I can play a4, and it's just nothing to be done. Hitting the rook, but rook a1, bishop d7. And that is all she wrote, because I now am threatening to take here, followed by a checkmate. I'm also threatening to go here. She did play queen d2, and there's knight b5. And there's no way to stop the mate. So that was a nice game to finish on. I was quite happy with that. I'm happy Alice was gonna go to sleep, so I managed to get this game over with quickly. But yeah, that was a nice game to finish on. We also drew our match against Argentina, which was a great team result. And yeah, Alice, thank you for stopping by. Have a good lecture tomorrow morning. I'll see you in Birmingham in under 2 months. Yeah, bye. For everyone else who's still here, I'm not going to be much longer myself, because I have been streaming for how long? Let's see. 3 hours, almost 4 hours. You only won. Actually, that is true. Frozen Edge. Frozen Edge and I famously talk a fair bit. Frozen Edge and I chat a fair bit, but he actually sent me a text message before the last round saying good night. Good luck, not good night. What was my score in the Olympiad? It was 7 out of 10. Here are the results for anyone who's interested. Fifi, Mikey. What's up, Mikey? Are you back in Bristol yet? Or still on the road? Finally. Performance wasn't that high. It's just 2180. Winning 18 rating points. But yeah, so what I'm saying is it's been a good Olympiad. Did I gain? Yeah, so I gained 18 points. I was actually gonna do my OCD thing of streaming for a total of 4 hours, but I'm really just too cold. Like I'm not shaking, but almost. Just having a quick look at what's going on. Okay, yeah, shivering. I mean, I said earlier, I think, was Truth already here? My parents are gone, so I've had no food, no heating. Basically, I'm just a baby that can't be left on its own. So thankfully I'm off tomorrow, back off to England. Off to England tomorrow. once again, streaming. I'll be streaming with David Howell on Wednesday. Airport stream, no. I'm not flying via Amsterdam this time. I've taken the easy route, direct Luxembourg-London flight. So no airport stream. If I have some spare time in the airport, I'll probably be sleeping. I should also really pack now. Where the weather is nice and the girls are pretty. There is an off chance. Is there anyone in the chat who knows who Justin Tan is? A very random question. Does anyone know Justin Tan? Tan. He doesn't know anything. I hope he doesn't see this because he has no idea. But I'll be in Amsterdam on... Oh, he's a Crazy House player. No. That's Jan Lee. I don't mean Jan Lee, I mean Justin Tan. I'll be in Amsterdam on Thursday, staying at Leonard's house, but without Leonard being there. But Justin Tan will be there, so maybe we will do a... Okay, he does. I didn't realize. Yeah, he's from Australia, but he's been living in the UK for a while and now apparently in Amsterdam. I just found out today. So maybe I'll do a stream with Justin on Thursday, but we'll see about that. But for now, I think I'm going to call it a night. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, there are two Justin Tans from Australia. I didn't realize. Yeah, he's been playing for NCL for a while. Can I ask your opinion about the Ronaldo case? What's been happening with Ronaldo? I'm not even sure. Okay, I shouldn't have brought up Justin Tan because I'm not even sure we are going to be streaming together. There's just a small possibility we will. But I'll keep you posted about that. For now, this is me done. I really enjoyed tonight's streams, actually. There was quite a long intro, but we managed to get through my 10 games. There was no tilt. It was nice and relaxing. Had a great time. Thank you for being so lovely in the chat, as usual. And participative. Is participative a word? Maybe, maybe not. Thank you to my super mods. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thanks to the 5 of you who donated €1. Frozen Edge, you are quite lovely. As are you, Truth, and all the other 90 whatever people that are still here. I'm off to bed. I'll be back on Wednesday with David. I'm hoping to see you then. That will be a very different stream. We'll play Blitz, we'll play Hand and Brain. We'll probably chat a lot of shit. I'll probably give David a 1 hour talking to about not revealing some body parts. And that's probably what's gonna happen on Wednesday. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you then. For now, I'm off. Sending much love to all of you. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Have a lovely evening, a lovely day, depending on where in the world you are. I'll see you soon. Bye. And Fuchsia. Thank you. Special shout out once again to Fuchsia for creating this study. Much appreciated. I think it was hard enough getting it done as it was, so if I'd actually had to enter every move, we would have been here a long time. So thank you, Fuchsia. You're the best. Right. Laters. Night night.